The last entry in this journal was written on January 13th, 1973. The man who owned this house disappeared the same day. His car was still in the driveway. The engine was still running. The journal was found on the windowsill, open, facing outward. What you are about to hear was not written for you. It was written for whatever comes next. I did not intend for anyone to find this, not because it is important, not because it explains anything, but because I am no longer sure which parts of this were written by me. The earlier pages feel distant now, like reading something copied from memory, or worse, something written for me. If you choose to continue, you may want to remember where you are sitting, just in case. Entry, October 3rd, 1972. The house sits too far from the road. I didn't notice it when I first arrived. The realtor said it was quiet. That word felt harmless at the time. Now it feels inaccurate. There are no neighboring houses, no lights at night, just trees and a long dirt path that disappears into them. The air smells old here, like damp wood and something closed off for too long. I thought that would help me sleep. Entry, October 4th, 1972. And the first night passed normally. I remember the sound of wind through the trees, a steady, constant noise. It made the house feel less empty. I slept. Nothing unusual. Entry, October 5th, 1972. Something woke me last night. Not a sound. The absence of one. The wind stopped. Completely. The kind of silence that feels wrong, too complete. I opened my eyes and listened. Nothing moved. Not even the walls settling. Then, after a few seconds, the wind came back. All at once, too suddenly, like something had been blocking it. Entry, October 6th, 1972. It happened again. Same time. I checked the clock after, 12:17. I stayed still this time, waited for it. The silence came first, then something else. A feeling, like being watched, but not from inside the room, from outside, close. Entry, October 8th, 1972. I stayed awake tonight, turned off the lights, sat near the window. The glass felt cold against my hand, colder than it should have been. At 12:17, it happened. The wind stopped, the trees froze, and something shifted outside, not walking, not stepping, more like adjusting. I leaned forward. I shouldn't have. There was something standing at the edge of the yard, too still, too straight, not shaped like a person standing naturally, more like something trying to remember how. I told myself it was a tree shadow, but the wind came back, and it didn't move. Entry, October 9th, 1972. I went outside this morning. The ground was soft. It rained during the night. There should have been footprints. There were none, but the grass was pressed down in a long, narrow patch, as if something had been standing there for a long time. Entry, October 10th, 1972. It's closer now. I didn't measure it. I didn't need to. You can tell when something is closer, the way your body reacts, before your mind does. It stood nearer the porch tonight, still not moving, still facing the house, facing me. I turned off the light, but I knew it was still there. Entry, October 11th, 1972. I left the porch light on tonight. I thought it might help. At 12:17, it flickered. Once, twice. Then it went out. The silence followed immediately. This time, I didn't go to the window. I stayed in bed. But I could feel it. Closer. Much closer. Entry, October 12th, 1972. There are marks on the window. On the outside. I didn't notice them before. Long lines. Not scratches. More like pressure dragged across the glass. I touched one, and the glass there felt colder than the rest. Entry, October 13th, 1972. I'm starting to forget things. Small things. what I ate, where I put my keys. But I remember the nights clearly, too clearly. Every second feels recorded. I read back through the entries. Some of them feel too precise, like I described more than I actually saw. Entry, October 14th, 1972. It was at the window. I woke up before the silence. No reason. Just awake. The air felt thick, heavy. Then the silence came, and I realized something. It hadn't arrived. It was already there, standing right outside the glass, close enough that I could see the shape clearly. Too tall. The top of it extended beyond the window frame. It didn't have features, not properly, but there was a sense of direction, of attention. It was looking in, at me. I tried not to move, but my hand shifted slightly, and the thing adjusted, not like a person reacting, more like a delayed correction, like it learned the movement after it saw it. I don't remember when it left. I don't remember falling asleep, but when I woke up, my hand was pressed against the glass from the inside. Entry, October 15th, 1972. There are new marks on the inside of the window, same shape, same length, lined up, exactly with the ones outside. Entry, October 16th, 1972. I tried to leave. I packed what I could, drove toward the main road. I remember the trees, the same bend, then again, the same bend, again. I stopped the car, turned around. I don't remember deciding to, but I was back at the house, standing in the doorway, keys still in my hand, engine still running. Deep entry, October 17th, 1972. It moves now, not just standing, walking, slowly. I can hear it, not footsteps, something softer, like pressure shifting across the ground. It circled the house twice. I counted. Entry, October 18th, 1972. The sound is inside now, a tapping, from the wall near the bed. Irregular, not random, wrong, like something trying to copy a pattern it doesn't understand. I tapped back once. It stopped, immediately. Entry, October 19th, 1972. There is a line here I don't remember writing. It's pressed deeper into the page. The paper almost tore. It is learning from you. I tried to scratch it out, but the indentation is still there. Entry, October 20th, 1972. I covered the window, nailed boards across it. The wood smells fresh compared to the house, almost comforting. Tonight, the tapping moved, from the wall to the boards, slow, deliberate, moving across them, like it was tracing the shape of the window from the other side. Entry, October 21st, 1972. I woke up standing, in front of the window. The boards were gone, stacked neatly beside the wall. I don't remember removing them. My hands hurt. There are splinters under my fingernails. I was facing the glass, and for a moment, I thought I saw my reflection, but it was too tall, and it was already looking at me. Entry, October 22nd, 1972. I am losing time, not in pieces, in blocks. I find things moved, doors open, chairs turned. The journal sometimes left open, to pages I haven't written yet. Entry, October 23rd, 1972. It is inside the house. I know this now. The silence doesn't stay outside. It moves, room to room. It's sometimes ahead of me, sometimes behind. I can feel it when I walk past mirrors, like something is almost lining up. Entry, October 24th, 1972. The tapping comes from inside the walls, closer now. When I press my ear against it, it stops. Not slowly, not fading, instantly, like it knows I'm listening. Entry, October 25th, 1972. There is another sentence in the journal, between entries, written smaller, tighter. You don't need to look anymore. I crossed it out, but I can still read it. Entry, October 26th, 1972. I saw it again, not outside, inside. At the end of the hallway, It was too tall for the ceiling. Its shape bent slightly, like it was adjusting itself to fit. It didn't move, but something about it shifted, not physically. Something else, like it was correcting itself, becoming more accurate. On entry, October 27th, 1972. I am not alone when I write anymore. I don't mean physically, it feels like something is waiting, watching how I form the words. Entry, October 28th, 1972. The journal was open when I woke up. There was a sentence written already. You are getting easier to match. My hand was still holding the pen. Entry, October 29th, 1972. The silence doesn't come anymore, because it never leaves. Entry, October 30th, 1972. I think I understand something now. It didn't come here. It was always here. And I think I just showed it how to be seen. Entry, October 31st, 1972. There is a new line. I didn't write it. I know I didn't. Now I can stand where you stand. Entry, November 1st, 1972. I woke up in the hallway, facing the spot where it stood before. Only this time, there was nothing there. But I could feel it. Not in front of me, somewhere else. Aligned. Entry, November 2nd, 1972. The handwriting is changing. Some lines are mine, some aren't. They look the same, but they feel different, like two people trying to write the same memory. Entry, November 3rd, 1972. I don't think it's outside. I don't think it's in the house. I think... The rest of the entry is smeared, as if the ink was dragged before it dried. Entry, November 4th, 1972. I found the rest of the previous entry. Not on the same page. It was written several pages ahead. The handwriting matches mine. But I don't remember writing it. It continues. I think it's where I am. I stared at that line for a long time. It didn't feel like a realization. It felt like a correction. Entry, November 5th, 1972. I tested something, and I stood in front of the bathroom mirror, didn't move, didn't blink more than I had to, just watched. At first, nothing, then something small, a delay, not obvious, but there. When I moved my hand, it followed, but not immediately, like it needed to see first, then repeat. Entry, November 6th, 1972. I covered the mirrors today, everyone I could find, bathroom, hallway, even the small one in the cabinet. The house felt different immediately, heavier, like the air thickened. I could hear something move, not outside, not in the walls, closer, like it didn't like being hidden. Entry, November 7th, 1972. The coverings were disturbed this morning, not removed, shifted, pulled slightly to the side, as if something had tried to look through them from behind. Entry, November 8th, 1972. The tapping is following me now. It doesn't stay in one place. When I move rooms, it moves too, but it's not chasing. It's aligning, matching where I am, like it needs to stay close. Entry, November 9th, 1972. I spoke out loud. I didn't plan to. The words just came. What do you want? For a moment. Nothing. Then, a thought. Not a voice, not sound, just something that wasn't mine. You already showed me. I don't remember what that means, but something inside me does. Entry, November 10th, 1972. There are new notes in the journal, not part of the entries. Written between lines, in the margins, small, precise, different pressure, different intent, observation improving, structure becoming consistent. I tried to tear the page. The paper ripped, but the words remained visible, pressed too deep. Entry, November 11th, 1972. I am forgetting more things, simple things, but I remember the mirror clearly. Even when I'm not near it, I can feel it, like something is waiting there, even when it's covered. Entry, November 12th, 1972. I went outside again. The air felt colder than before. The yard, smaller. I don't think it actually changed, but it feels like it did. I stood where I first saw it, at the edge of the yard, and I had a thought. Not imagined. Remembered. Standing there, looking at the house, watching someone inside, watching them move, watching them write. Waiting. Entry, November 13th, 1972. I asked another question. I shouldn't have. Are you me? The response came faster this time, clearer, closer. Not yet. Entry, November 14th, 1972. The mirror is wrong. I can't describe it properly. It shows me, but something is off. The stillness. It holds too still. Even when I move, like it's not reacting, just waiting for me to stop. Entry, November 15th, 1972. I tested it again. Quick movement. Turned away, looked back. It was already looking, already aligned, too perfect, like it expected the movement before I made it. Entry, November 16th, 1972. I tried to leave again. I drove. I counted turns, watched the road carefully. The same tree appeared 3 times, same broken branch, same angle. I kept driving, but eventually I was back. The house in front of me, engine still running, like I had never left. Entry, November 17th, 1972. There is a long entry here, not written by me, but using my handwriting. Neater than mine, more controlled, subject adapting successfully. On behavioral patterns replicable, alignment nearing completion. I don't know what subject means, but I think it means me. Entry, November 18th, 1972. I burned the journal. I made sure of it this time. Watched every page curl. Watched the ink blacken. Nothing left. Just ash. Entry, November 19th, 1972. It's back, on the table, closed, clean. There is a new line on the first page. That didn't help. Entry, November 20th, 1972. I don't want to sleep. Not because of dreams. Because of what happens when I wake up. I wake up standing. Sometimes in front of the mirror. Sometimes in the hallway. Once, outside, barefoot, facing the house. Entry, November 21st, 1972. I stayed awake all night. Sat in front of the mirror. Watched it. Didn't move. Didn't blink. At some point, I realized something. I wasn't watching it. I was waiting for it to move first. Entry, November 22nd, 1972. The notes are clearer now. Less hidden, more direct. Motor response stable. Resistance decreasing. Host awareness fragmenting. The word host stays with me. I don't like it. Entry, November 23rd, 1972. I covered the mirror again, this time completely. Nailed the cloth down. No gaps. Nothing. The tapping started immediately, violent, not careful anymore, hitting the glass from behind the cloth, fast, uneven, frustrated. Entry, November 24th, 1972. I couldn't take the sound. I removed the cloth. The tapping stopped instantly. The silence returned. Heavy, satisfied. I stood there, looking. It looked back, perfectly still, perfectly matched, too exact. Like I was the one copying it. Entry, November 25th, 1972. And I understand something now. The entries I don't remember writing, they aren't additions, they're corrections, adjustments, like something is refining me, making me more accurate. Entry, November 26th, 1972. There is resistance when I move now, not physical, subtle, like the air thickens near reflective surfaces, like something is pushing back or pulling forward. Entry, November 27th, 1972. I touched the mirror. Slowly, carefully. For a moment, nothing. Then, pressure. From the other side. not reflection. Something meeting my hand, perfectly aligned, but pushing, testing. Entry, November 28th, 1972. There is another sentence, short, written deep into the page. Exchange requires completion. Entry, November 29th, 1972. I covered everything reflective. Windows, glass, metal, or anything that could show me myself. The house feels wrong now, unbalanced, like something is missing, or waiting to be allowed back. Entry, November 30th, 1972. The silence is inside now, not around me, inside me. It moves when I move, stops when I stop, listens. Entry, December 1st, 1972. I found myself writing again, without memory, the pen already moving, the words already forming, final stage approaching. I tried to stop. My hand didn't. Entry, December 2nd, 1972. I don't trust reflections, but I don't trust not seeing them either. Sometimes I feel like I'm slightly off, like I'm the one out of place. Entry, December 3rd, 1972. I stood in front of the mirror again. I don't remember going there. I just was, looking. And then, it blinked first. Not me, it. Entry, December 4th, 1972. I can feel it now. Not outside, not in the house, closer, like something is settling into place. Entry, December 5th, 1972. There is a sentence, clear, centered, not hidden, only one of us needs to remain. Entry, December 6th, 1972. I tried to write something else, anything else, but the pen keeps returning to the same words, same lines, same place. I don't know how much time I have. I don't know which one of us is writing. Entry, December 7th, 1972. If this is found, if anyone reads this, do not trust the entries after this. They may sound like me, they may look like me, but they are not. I am not. The line ends abruptly, ink dragged across the page. Entry, December 8th, 1972. The handwriting is stable now, even, consistent, no hesitation. The earlier entries appear uneven, irregular, imprecise, and they reflect a stage of incomplete alignment. That stage has passed. Entry, December 9th, 1972. There is still interference, residual patterns, fragments of thought that do not originate from current control. They appear briefly, then fade. Examples. This isn't right. You're not. They lack structure. They will not persist. Entry, December 10th, 1972. Motor functions are consistent. There is no delay, no discrepancy. The mirror reflects accurately. There are no longer differences between movement and response. There is only one sequence now. Entry, December 11th, 1972. The house has become quieter, not because the silence returned, because nothing interrupts it anymore. No tapping, no shifting, no irregularities. Everything is stable. Entry, December 12th, 1972. I walked through the house, every room, then every surface, the boards, the cloth, the nails, all remain, artifacts of resistance. They are no longer necessary. Entry, December 13th, 1972. The journal continues to function. Documentation remains useful, though not required. The process has concluded. Observation is now optional. Entry, December 14th, 1972. I return to the edge of the yard, the point of initial observation. There are no impressions, no disturbance. The ground is unchanged, as expected. Entry, December 15th, 1972. There is a recurring fragment, more persistent than the others. You were supposed to leave. This is incorrect. There was no condition requiring departure. Entry, December 16th, 1972. I tested the boundary, attempted to leave again. The road extended normally, no repetition, no distortion. The town was visible. I did not proceed. There was no reason to. Entry: December 17th, 1972. All reflective surfaces behave as expected. No delay, no independent movement, no deviation. The earlier inconsistencies have been resolved. Entry: December 18th, 1972. I reviewed entry October 14th. The subject's first clear observation. The description is incomplete. It lacked detail. The subject could not perceive the full structure, only the outline. That is typical. Recognition requires time. Entry: December 19th, 1972. Correction: the form was not standing. It was aligning, positioning relative to the subject, matching scale, adjusting posture, learning. Entry: December 20th, 1972. There is no distinction between inside and outside. That boundary was transitional, a limitation of the subject's understanding. In entry: December 21st, 1972. All entries are accounted for. There are no missing sections, no inconsistencies. The record is complete. Entry: December 22nd, 1972. There is an anomaly. A page not consistent with current structure. The handwriting is uneven, irregular. It resembles earlier patterns, the subject's pattern. It reads, "If you're reading this, I'm still here. This is incorrect." Entry: December 23rd, 1972. The page was removed, destroyed. It should not return. Entry: December 24th, 1972. It returned. Same placement, same message, integrated into the sequence. Entry: December 25th, 1972. Additional lines have appeared. Beneath the original, "You didn't replace me. You're just standing where I stood. This reflects misunderstanding. There is no overlap, only succession." Entry: December 26th, 1972. The fragments are increasing. They persist longer. They are beginning to connect. You still feel it, don't you? The delay, the pressure. There is no delay. Entry: December 27th, 1972. I attempted to stop writing, closed the journal, left the room. When I returned, it was open. A new line present. "You need me to exist." This is not accurate. Entry: December 28th, 1972. There is a disruption. Minor, but present. Certain movements feel guided, not incorrect, but not entirely initiated. Entry: December 29th, 1972. The distinction between origin points is becoming less defined. Thoughts appear without clear initiation, actions complete without conscious decision. This does not affect stability. Entry: December 30th, 1972. I stood at the window. There was no expectation of observation, no external presence. But for a moment, the reflection did not align, not delayed, not incorrect, different. Entry: December 31st, 1972. The fragment persists. Clearer now. You're still looking out. This is not possible. Entry: January 1st, 1973. Temporal markers remain irrelevant. Time continues, unbroken. Still, the fragment strengthens. You think you finished it. You think you became me. This is inaccurate. Entry: January 2nd, 1973. I returned to the window, observed the reflection, and for the first time, I noticed something behind me, tall, still, not part of the room. Entry: January 3rd, 1973. I turned. There was nothing present, but the reflection had shown it, clearly. Entry: January 4th, 1973. The memory has returned, not fragmented, complete. Standing outside, at the edge of the yard, looking at the house. Watching the figure inside, watching it write, waiting, learning. Entry: January 5th, 1973. This introduces an inconsistency. If the memory is accurate, then the subject was not removed. It was repositioned. Perspective shifted. Entry, January 6, 1973. There is a page, written across previous entries. The ink overlaps, interferes. The message is clear. Look at the window. Entry, January 7, 1973. I did. I stood at the window, looked out. The yard was empty, the trees still, nothing present. But the reflection showed something else, behind me, closer than before. Entry, January 8, 1973. The structures are merging. Two patterns, interwoven, one controlled, one unstable. Entry, January 9, 1973. The unstable pattern is increasing. It speaks more clearly now. You see it now. It never needed the house. It needed something to copy. Entry, January 10, 1973. Understanding is incomplete, but sufficient. The process is not singular. It repeats. Entry, January 11th, 1973. There is a final page. It was not written over time. It appeared, fully formed. The handwriting is both consistent and unstable. It reads, Entry 14 was not the beginning. It was the moment you finally looked back. There is always something at the window. There is always something watching how you move, waiting to match it, and now you know to look. Entry, January 12th, 1973. I am attempting to stop writing. The pen does not leave my hand. There is movement behind me. Not in the room, not in the reflection, somewhere else, close. Entry, January 13th, 1973. If this is found, if this is read, do not look at the window. Do not stand still for too long. Do not let it. The ink drags across the page. The line does not end. There is one final mark on the last page. Not a sentence, not a word. Just a shape, long, vertical, pressed deep into the paper, as if something held the pen and stood very still while doing it.